All right, so this is the assembly instructional for the card tray lid. So first thing is we're gonna take, this is actually the top of the card tray lid, but that's what we're gonna start working with first. There are two different versions of these kind of angled plugs. We're gonna wanna start with the smaller of the two version. So these guys here. And you wanna start putting these in, you really can't put them in the wrong way because they're keyed differently. They won't assemble this way. So you're gonna put glue in this valley and this valley. You're gonna pop that in to these slots right here. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So glue in the valleys, line it up, kind of push it in. And then we're gonna take the inside wall pieces for the sloped wall, and we're gonna line these up in this little guy here. So the walls, the notches are different on this. So you're gonna line up the larger notch with the larger notch. Put glue here, here, and here in the valleys. Line that up, push it together. Same thing with the opposite side wall. So line up the large notch with the large slot. Push those in. And now this sub-assembly is going to drop onto the top portion here. So you're gonna match the angles to the little plug pieces we put in the first step, and we're gonna put glue on these valleys on this piece, which are gonna coincide with these notches, and then glue on the tops of these plug pieces here in the valleys as well. And then basically set everything in, line up all the different notches. Helps to work from one side to the other. You can kind of push this piece in. There's enough flex to where you don't have to have these ones lined up when you push this one in first. And then just make sure it's lined up, push it down. Same thing with this one. Kind of wiggle it around until it lines up. There we go. And then what we're gonna do is actually take this piece here. So this one's symmetrical. So there's no issue with getting the orientation incorrect. But we're gonna put this into these notches here on the tops of the piece that we just put in. So glue there, 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 and there. Set it in. You wanna kind of hold it so it doesn't flop down and turn the whole assembly on its side here. Then we're going to take these side walls and you're going to put glue in all the valleys along the top. You don't have to worry about this landed flat piece right here, but all these valleys. And then you're going to line up these notches here with these posts here. And then kind of zipper across this top row. I'm going to flip the piece over. The same thing on the other side. So glue in all the valleys, kind of line it up first. Just snap it all in. And then we're going to do the back portion. So on this one, you're going to have the hexagon hole towards the large open cavity right here. This piece, this portion here is just basically to retain all the little tracker portions that are in the tray on the card tray. So this is going to get closed off, so you want to make sure that hole is in the right orientation there. You're going to put glue, and this one, squeeze together a little bit. Put glue in all the valleys again here, going across, and here, and then we're going to pop this guy in. So this one helps to kind of line up one of the edges first, and then make sure that the inner notches are kind of lining up, and then we'll just kind of zip right in. Okay, squeeze everything nice and snug. We're going to flip it around, and we're going to do the bottom piece. Now this one I want to be careful with because it's one of the more fragile pieces. But this is going to be the runner that retains everything but still allows for the felt pads. We can show you that in a second. So we're going to put glue in all the valleys going around. And then you really just want to kind of start and zip it along very carefully. Make sure everything's lining up before you really squeeze it tight. So zip it along, Okay. And you really want to make sure all the glue's out of this inner track portion of it. Throughout the whole build process, we're going to be cleaning that out. Just make sure that nothing is in there that might impede the tray when you're sliding it in. So we're going to stick this thing on its end there. And we've got the 2 remaining plugs. So glue in all the valleys on this end piece here. And kind of line everything up. Should just pop right in. Sometimes you got to move the pieces out of the way a little bit, make sure it lines up properly. Same thing with this one. Pop that in, and this one, because we didn't glue it, it's coming apart a little bit, but this will help hold it. There we go. So that's the tray. You got the open cavity in the bottom, the tray lid. And then if we take the tray, so this time we'll just slide right in. You can see the feet avoid, or don't sit higher because they've got the relief cut in the bottom of this piece, which is why that's there.